Legionella pneumophila. It belongs to the genus Legionella. Legionella pneumophila is a aerobic, rod-shaped, flagellated, gram-negative intracellular pathogen. Its approximately length is 3 to 5 micrometers long, and when it's cultured, its length ranges from 10 to 25 micrometers. When it's under poor nutritional conditions, the shape changes by increasing the length. Legionella pneumophila was first identified when approximately 1976 there was a group of about 3,000 people that were attending an annual convention in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And out of those 3,000 people, 200 contracted a severe case of pneumonia within a few days of being there. Approximately 24 of those people went into respiratory distress. Well, actually, respiratory failure. So they actually thought that it may have been an environmental problem or a toxic substance. But once they brought CDC in, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, they found the cause of it. It was gram negative, and they labeled it as Legionella pneumophila. And that name came from the victims themselves, which they were a part of the Legionnaires, the Pennsylvania Legionnaires. So the Legionella pneumophila name came from the victims that it affected and the new founded disease, Legionnaire. In its natural state, it occurs in surface water everywhere around the world. It infects free-living protozoa in fresh water and in aquatic environments when they're in their natural environment. What I did find out was that human beings are accidental hosts. We contracted from aerosols or inhalation of contaminated water. It forms and collects and produces in contained areas where there is warm standing water. It can be found in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning vent systems, hot tubs, cooling towers, hot water tanks, even in smaller environments such as your respiratory therapy equipment, humidifiers. Legionella pneumophila is the cause of 2 respiratory infections. One would be Legionnaire's disease, or they also call it legionellosis, and the Pontiac fever, which the Legionnaire's disease is the more fatal one than the Pontiac fever. Symptoms may include, but not limited to, like fever, muscle aches, chills, fatigue, a cough, and that cough may be non-productive or it may be productive. Symptoms usually appear within 2 to 4 days after exposure. You may have a decrease in appetite, chest pains, nausea and vomiting, diarrhea, altered level of consciousness, shortness of breath. You may also have blood or mucus with that cough. The only way to diagnose Legionella pneumophila is by lab testing. And the preferred method would be the charcoal containing agar. They also use blood and urine tests to check for the Legionella antigen. A chest x-ray may be done to find out the extent of the infection. A sample of lung tissue may be taken. After positive confirmation, the individual will be started on IV antibiotics immediately. Other tests that may be done may be the PCR, which is the polymerase chain reaction, and immunofluorescent staining. The is sensitive to erythromycin, clarithromycin, azithromycin, tetracycline, levofloxacin, and so those are like some of the antibiotics that they may put you on if you were to contract this infection. Let's see. Also, as the immune system weakens, Legionella pneumophila becomes fatal. It leads to complications such as kidney failure, respiratory failure, or sudden drop in your blood pressure. Treatment normally lasts anywhere from 7 to 10 days, but if you have a weakened immune system, it may take 21 days. It has been noted by the Public Health Agency of Canada that it can survive up to 139 days in distilled water and 415 days in tap water. It can be inactivated by UV light and 80 degrees Celsius in an aqueous environment. The Pontiac fever is actually a bacterial respiratory infection. It has no symptoms it's without the pneumonia. There is no treatment. Normally, you don't need treatment for the Pontiac fever. It just runs its course. And that name came from a city in Michigan where the epidemic was first recognized. It says it resembles the flu, but it's not the flu. Let's see. That's it.